Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Up to this day, I have been trading since 2012, and up to this day, I still get excited when I see the market do what wave theory expects it to do. And we'll go through the Bitcoin chart shortly when we start, just to show you exactly how we looked at this market and how it has eventually played out. I know this is the Forex part of the webinar. The crypto part of the webinar is you can just check the video out on YouTube, which comes immediately right after this. So we're going to start with that. So let's start first. If you'd like to contact us, check out our videos on YouTube. You can drop us a like, click on the notification button so that you can get an alert next time we post the video. And also you would like to also click on our website link. So there's going to be a number of changes on our website. We are posting up. We've started to post up blogs on our website and also chart of the week, which we'll go through just now. We discussed last week, and then we have posted it. It is very freely available. Every week we'll be posting one chart on the website, and if you'd like to get that chart, you can just sign up on the website and access it there. The rest of the links are our social media pages. You can follow us on our social media pages for all updates on our services and on our chat. We're going to be posting some charts also on our social media pages. Right, so let's get started and let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. I sent out an idea on TradingView. Unfortunately, the idea was blocked because it violated TradingView rules. That was my mistake there. So what I did with that idea is I posted, let me just go to my idea. I posted the idea, but then I put up my YouTube link on the idea, which is not allowed by TradingView, understandably so. So that's fine. So here's the idea that I did on TradingView. As you can see, it has been blocked. We were looking for Bitcoin to push up higher to give us the next leg to the upside from here, and then looking for the next leg up higher. Let's see how this has eventually played out. So this was the latest chart, but before that, let's see how we looked at Bitcoin. I want you to see the chart that we forecasted first on the 20th of February and see how this plays out. And then I'd also want you to see how we actually trade this, because most of the people just do blogs and they don't show how you actually execute the trade. Somebody can say this is going to go down, it's going to go up. Yes, how far is it going to go down? Exactly where are you going to take the trade? How are you going to execute? So I'm going to show you how we did that. So now look at the chart from February 2020. This is the chart from February 2020, which was available for our members. As you can see there, what were we forecasting? We were forecasting that Bitcoin is going to push up higher to around 60,000, which we have gone up to 60,000. We said we're going to get a correction, which is going to come back up to around 49,000, and we've just hit that 49,900 over the weekend, and then Bitcoin started rallying like this. Okay, so this is the correction. Let's just go look at the correction on the live Bitcoin chart and see how that is played out. I want us to look at this correction. I've also done a video on YouTube, a 5-minute video on YouTube. You may want to check it out on Bitcoin, exactly this trade that I'm talking about now. So let's just go look quickly on the live chart and see how this has played out. You've seen that the pullback on Bitcoin, let's go to Bitcoin, we're looking for Bitcoin here. The pullback on Bitcoin was forecasted to reverse at 49,900. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. Let's clear this first. So this is real trading. This is real trading. This is how we trade. See, look at that blue box. Look at that blue box, and where we focused that this was going to reverse. What happened over the weekend? Exactly there at 50,000. At 50,000, that was our reversal. Not only that, if you had signed up on the website and accessed our chart of the week, let's have a look. This move was forecasted before it happened. Let's have a look. This was freely available to everyone who signed up onto the website. So if we come here on the Bitcoin chart of the week, so we had 2 charts of the week. We usually prefer to post up one, but there were 2 opportunities, so didn't want you to miss out on that. So this is Bitcoin chart of the week. Look at that. And I want you to see where we focused the reversal was going to happen. How did we know that? So what you're seeing here is the front end of a very detailed analysis here. So let's just admit some more people here. There's some more people that are coming into the webinar. I need to admit them manually here. I need to figure out a way to get everybody automatically in. Right. So this is Bitcoin. I want us to see the level here where we expected the reversal. This is exactly where we expected the reversal. Go to your charts now and see where Bitcoin reversed. Okay, so this is exactly where it reversed. Now, yes, I'm showing this. Do you have a strategy to execute it? Do you just come here and take the trade and let it run to the upside? All right, so I want to show you my live platform here. This is the trading platform on Bitcoin. Just hold on a second there. All right, so with that, I wanted you to see exactly where we took the Bitcoin trade setup. So this is where we took the Bitcoin trade. As you've seen from the blue box, we took it right at about 50,500. At about 50,500, we are in the trade. It is already going to be running risk-free here. So for those that did not take the trade, we will be looking for this to go much higher. It is going slow, but we're going to go through the detail of this on the crypto webinar. So I just wanted to see how we execute these trades, how we focus them beforehand. As you've seen, this forecast was from the 20th of February, where we were forecasting that from around this area. You can see the 60,000 area is where we expected that this was going to reverse. That is the 60,000 area here. As you can see, we expected that this was going to reverse and it was going to pull back around this level and it was going to push to the upside. Where are we now? We are currently here, right? So this is real trading. This is real trading. It is how you trade practically. So let's have a look here at the details of that structure, but we're going to look at that in more detail when we start with the crypto webinar. Right now, this is the Forex webinar, and we're going to be focusing on that. So that is how Bitcoin has played out. Eventually, you can see this is the blue box. We focused on that, and that is how it has played out. Okay, so we'll go through the rest of the cryptocurrencies in a bit. So for now, we're going to be looking at the Forex market and the indices as well. Right, let's get started. So if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to the channel, drop us a notification button, and hit the like button on the video as well. So let's start with the DXY. What do we expect of the DXY? Now, the DXY has changed structure slightly. Let's have a look at how this has changed. Right, let's have a look at the DXY. This is the 4 hour on the DXY. It's still showing us we're going to have a bit of a push to the upside. We're still going to have a bit of a push to the upside. We are looking for these to eventually give us a reversal here with this 3-wave corrective structure here. Is this a 3-wave corrective structure? Are we going to see a move to the downside here? What we'll be looking for here is confirmation for downside, if that's going to come. So we're going to be looking for this to confirm to the downside. As it is, there is no confirmation for downside. We're still seeing a bit of a push to the upside. As far as the rules and the guidelines of these corrections are concerned, this is still a valid double corrective structure. That is a WXY corrective structure. It is still valid. The invalidation area will show in the next week. So where we expect this to be invalidated. Okay, so that is how we're looking at this. For now, we're still going to see a bit of a push to the upside. Let's just go to our website here just so you can see the detailed chart here. Let's have a look at the DXY. So the DXY, let's have a look at the DXY 4 hour. Let's just see the DXY. So as you can see, we're still projecting that we're going to see a bit of a push to the upside here. Even currently here, we're still going to see a bit more upside. We are currently within the corrective structure, but this will be our invalidation area here. On this pair. So we're still looking for more upside. If it goes above this, we're going to have invalidate that wave count. So that is what we're looking at on the DXY. Euro US dollar is obviously the inverse of that. We're also expecting the same thing, a bit of a push to the downside. As you can see, we've got a double correction in there. That's a double zigzag that we have here, WXY, very clear structure. So naturally, we will be looking for this to be reversing here from this area, but we've got an indicator that tells us when the reversal is ready, or when the trend reverses. But at this stage, it is still showing us continuation to the downside, and we are not going to buy this as yet. We're going to see this continue to the downside a bit. we're expecting that. Any buys is, if we're going to be looking for buys, we're going to be looking for them after it has made these moves. Okay, after we see something like this here around this blue box, we see a trade setup for more upside. Okay, so that is what we'll be looking at on the euro US dollar and the DXY. Okay, so I just need you to see the bigger structure here on the DXY. See the bigger structure on the DXY. Let's go to the weekly chart. So if you look at the DXY, this is why we're still expecting a move to the downside. We're looking at this as a 5-wave structure, and this is the wave 4 and the last one to the downside here. We're looking at this one to come retest this level before pushing to the upside. So that's why we're still bearish the DXY, and currently we are within this corrective structure. This correction has not ended as yet. We've not got confirmation that this is going to reverse. That's why you see us projecting a bit of a push to the upside. If this is going to invalidate our count, then we're going to look at that, and then we're going to adjust the structure. So the structure can, the correction or the view can be invalidated if we start getting this. Then we know that this corrective structure, the bigger one on the weekly, is done, and we're resuming a move to the upside. Then the dollar strength resumes, but that's not what we're looking at for now. We're going to take it wave for wave. All right, so let's look at the next one is US dollar, pound US dollar. Let's have a look here. We're still on the pound pairs. Let's have a look here on pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, we have seen an impulse here. We're seeing this as a W, X, and a Y. We've seen a bounce, but when we're looking at the cycles, this does not look like it's complete. We're still looking for this to give us another move to the downside. Let's see if we're going to get one more down. Nothing stops this from going at current levels because it confirms to the guidelines. So we just need to get confirmation that this is the end of the move and not one more down around here. We prefer it to come here actually, obviously, because then we know that there's no other option but for it to reverse around this area. So let's see how this is going to play out in the week. We've made a bounce that could fool you into thinking that this is going, but nothing is wrong with this structure. This is a complete zigzag structure with a shorter leg Y. That is possible, the rules and the guidelines. We've got the specific range for a Y or a C, right? So we know when it is invalidated, when it is still valid. So as it is here, if it goes from here, it is still valid, okay? But we won't miss it just because we've got two options. We will get confirmation here if this is going to go. If it doesn't go, we're going to get it to drop here, and we will also get confirmation for this to push to the upside. That is pound US dollar. Let's keep an eye on it in the week. Is it ready for a push to the upside? We are still looking. Remember, we are still looking for pound to push up to about 144. Okay, 144 is the expectation on pound US dollar. This is a bit exaggerated, but we're looking for 144. Nothing stops this from breaking up higher than 144. Then it can be an expanding flat as follows. It can break up to this level. We're not expecting this to be done here. We're expecting it to be done around these levels. Right, so that is pound US dollar. Let's look at US dollar chief. US dollar chief, don't remember if this is the detail that I gave during the weekly outlook last week, or we did this in our live trading room. We have live trading room every single day, Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. GMT, where we go through these trade setups with our traders. So if you'd like to join us, you can do so on the website. Then you can have access to this as well. Right, so we're looking at this blue structure here on US dollar chief, W, X, and a Y. A simple three-wave structure. We've got a big structure, big swing coming from the top here, so we're looking for this simple structure here. So here we're looking for this one to be pushing to the upside. So the chief, incidentally, we're looking for this to push to the upside. So that may mean that that reversal that we're expecting on the DXY may not come, and DXY may continue to push up higher, and that will mean that that structure on the DXY would have completed. So we'll be monitoring this for upside. So this has been pushing up anyway, right? So that is a US dollar chief on the weekly in the lower degree. Let's look at the 4-hour. So in the 4-hour, we're looking for this one to pull back. When we came to this level, if you remember during the last weekly outlook, we were expecting this to do this one. Let me switch off here so you can only see the structure. We're expecting this to do this 1, 2, 3 wave structure. That was about 2 weeks back. We were expecting this to give us this and then push to the upside. It actually pushed up higher before it gave us this one more down here. So this structure still does not make much sense here with this move to the upside, but that means that this is all a correction here and it started the move to the upside as follows. So what it looks like here now, it looks like we're making already another 5-wave structure here. So we're going to adjust this structure so you can have a look at it. So let me just show you the structure on the side here. Let me see if we've got that US dollar chief on the website so you can see that that structure there. So we're looking for that to continue to the upside. That's the structure on US dollar chief. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at on US dollar chief. Let's go back to the live charts. That is US dollar chief. US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD, how many times have we talked about US dollar CAD? We are not ready to buy US dollar CAD yet. We can see that the DXY is pushing up higher, but we are looking for this to eventually give us a continuation to the downside. You've already seen why we're looking for this to continue to the downside. That is US dollar CAD. We're looking for this structure here on the daily, continuation to the downside. Any pullback is an opportunity to take this one further down. Okay, we're looking for this. This is the daily chart. Let me show you on our website here what we have forecasted for. Let's clean this up here for US dollar CAD. Let's just go back here. Let's go to US dollar CAD. That's not the structure that I'm looking at. Let's look at US dollar CAD. Let's clean this up. Clean this up. I have to go to the website again. Let's go to the website here and have a look at US dollar CAD. So I didn't show you when we did pound US dollar. We have got that on a blog. So we will be populating this with more articles. If you check it out now, you will see that we've done a blog on US dollar, pound US dollar on our blog. So go to news and articles, you will see this. Okay, obviously there will be more there for those that can afford our services and who just wants to get the free stuff. So this is what we're looking at here. We're looking for pound US dollar to come down here. And we're looking for this. You can look at the more detail here of why we're looking for this to still come down to that level and then push to the upside. So I just wanted to divert and show you that while we're looking at that. So that is pound US dollar, and I still wanted to show you US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD, the structure and the reason why we're looking at that. So we're looking for US dollar CAD to push to the downside. There is another possibility here, another alternative here on US dollar CAD that this, let's just have a look here. This is actually the wave 4 here. The wave 4 could be this running flat here. This wave 4 will be here, and we are only starting the move to the downside in green as follows. So the green will be this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the last leg to the downside. So just be mindful of the fact that it does not change the structure. It will still be valid. So we're still looking for this to continue to the downside. That is how we're looking at US dollar CAD. Let's run through the rest. Very interesting structures for the next coming week. By interesting, as you know by now, I mean very clear. AUD US dollar. So AUD US dollar, what we have seen here is a bit of a push to the upside. These are latest charts, by the way. We've seen a bit of a push to the upside. Is this correction done? Are we ready for a move to the upside? We're expecting this to still give us one more down before it pushes to the upside. So we'll be looking for this to give us a double correction here and then a move to the upside. That is AUD US dollar. Next one is New Zealand. Let's have a look at New Zealand 4 hour. New Zealand, same, 5 waves. New Zealand has made a strong impulsive move to the downside. Has this ended? We still expect the cycle to continue to the downside to give us these, to get up to this blue box here. So we'll be looking for this one to come around this area before we get the reversal. Get a bounce, comes down, and then upside. What will that mean? That will mean that we've got a structure like this: 1, 2, 3, and then upside. And then lower degree, you've got 3 waves down here, 3 waves here. You see nothing is forced. It's clear clear 3 waves here, and we look for this to continue to the upside. So we'll be looking for this, wait for confirmation for upside if when that's come here. Right, so that is New Zealand US dollar. Let's look at the rest here. I think that concludes all the US dollar pairs. Let's have a look at US dollar ZAR. We don't have US dollar ZAR listed on our site. Let's have a look at it here anyway. So US dollar ZAR. So this is how US dollar ZAR looks. Welcome to those that have just joined us. If you have just joined us, you may have missed the important part of this webinar, which is in the beginning, how we looked at the Bitcoin chart and what we're forecasting going forward. Now, US dollar ZAR, we have looked at this structure, looking for this one to continue to the upside to break the low here before we get any reversal. Are we getting confirmation for that continuation to the downside? So we've got on the 4-hour continuation pattern that we'll be looking at in the next week. Is this going to drop to the downside? We will be watching this. So this is what we looked at last week. We were looking at this one to be pulling back here. It is actually making a deeper correction here as follows. So we'll be looking at this as one. Could this be the 1 to 3 waves, and then we start looking for downside. So that's what we're looking at on US dollar ZAR. Let's have a look at how that plays out. Pound yen, very interesting structure on pound yen. Actually, the yen pairs are very interesting. They are looking bullish in the next coming sessions. If you remember pound yen, let me see if I've got the weekly chart here on pound yen. Let's have a look at the yen pairs. I have been showing that pound yen, we are looking for 156. Whatever happens on pound yen, this is still from January. Can you see from January when pound was still at 140? How many pips have we moved on pound yen from January? We have already moved over 1,000 pips to 51. Over 1,000 pips. Okay, so now you'll find that there's the people that want to trade here. We are almost at the end here, and it's actually a risky area to be trading pound yen now. Okay, we've already made 1,000 pips. It's too late to be looking for trades here. So around these levels, we have only been looking for buy setups, because we've seen this from January. Not only from January, from when we started looking at this structure on the weekly last year already, we could see that this was going to go to around these levels. So that is pound yen, 1,000 pips already on this pair. So what are we looking at now? We're seeing this continuation pattern. It is an expanding flat. It's a running flat. We're looking for this. Look for continuation patterns to the upside. But like I said, you are now at a risky area. We're starting to divert. Okay, we're starting to divert. We're reaching the end. So any trade that you take there is risky. Right, so that is what we're looking at on pound yen. US dollar yen. US dollar yen. All of you who watch these webinars should have got this trade. It's a simple 70 pip trade that we discussed last week in last week's webinar. Let me just see here. This is how we looked at US dollar yen. So you check out the timestamps on the webinars, on our videos on YouTube. I just want to go to last week's video so you can see how we forecasted US dollar yen and how we traded it as well. Okay, so this is last week. So that's the video from last week, and I'm going to go to the timestamp on US dollar yen. Let's have a look there. So this is last week's video. Just watch it play. There we go. That is US dollar yen. That's all. That's last week. So you can go and look at that video. Okay, it's just an ad there that's playing out. Okay, so go look at that video. You'll hear what we were saying there. Exactly there, we said we will be buying US dollar yen. A very, very simple trade. That's a very, very simple trade setup. We are currently here around 109.60, 109.80, almost at 110. You just pause there so you can see how we traded this. Okay. Right, so this is my live account on US dollar yen. As you can see here, it was a very simple trade. Just at 109.90, 108.90, it has already moved to about 109.80. It's a very simple trade, but we're not only starting to buy US dollar yen now. As you've seen, we have been looking for this to push up higher from right at the bottom. This was just one of those opportunities that we couldn't miss, where it was an obvious trade, all indicators showing that we're going to get a next move to the upside. I hope you all got that move on this one here. So you can see this is a live account, as you can see here, and this is my name here. This is my middle name. So that is our account there. Let's resume. Let's go back to our live charts. So this is US dollar yen. This is how it has played out already. As you can see, what were we expecting? We're still expecting more upside. No reversal as yet. We're still going to see more upside on US dollar yen. Let's go to euro yen. Euro yen looking very interesting. Euro yen looking very interesting. Again, I'm going to go to the video last week so you can see the power of wave analysis. So I want you to see how powerful this is, how we see this before and how it's actually traded. So this is euro yen last week's video. So that's why we've got the timestamps for you, so you can go and check how we focused this. So that is last week. We're looking for that to drop around these levels. That is exactly how it has played out. So let's go back to the chart. This is euro. Where were we? We were around here. We said we're going to expect a drop here and continuation to the upside. Now we are looking for this to continue to the upside. Exactly as forecasted, nothing new. Right, so that is euro yen, chief yen. Again, the same thing as well. Okay, chief yen, if you go to the video, I'm not going to do this for all the pairs, guys. I'm just going to do this here. It's the last one, otherwise we're going to spend the whole day here, because almost all the pairs that we focus, almost all the focus, everything that we focused comes out exactly as we expect. So about 90% accuracy on the forecast. So this is chief yen. As you can see, we expected chief yen to give us that as a correction and a push to the downside. We didn't quite get here. We got around this level. Okay, we got around this level, but the idea was to get a corrective structure and continuation to the upside. That is chief yen. Okay, so that is how it is now played out, and now we are seeing this corrective structure, which is a decent corrective structure, by the way. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 here. We're expecting this to continue to the upside. That is how powerful Elliott Wave Analysis is. That's all we're using here, obviously integrated with the indicator that we use to confirm trend reversals and trade executions. CAD yen, let's have a look at CAD yen. So CAD yen has made a 3-wave pullback, or is it an impulse? You cannot really see clearly here. It is a move to the downside and a 3-wave to the upside. I would really like it if this one can do this, because CAD yen is still very bullish for more upside. If it does this, that's a very good entry. Then it means we're going to get more upside, but it can still push up from here. If we get a setup for upside here, it will push up higher, but we'll still get a deeper one. So we want to wait for a deeper correction. Remember, CAD yen is still making that parabolic move to the upside that is similar to what oil is doing. So that's why we want to see oil give us, rather CAD yen give us a deeper correction. Because of the CAD here, we may see this, and then that is what we're focusing on oil as well. We're expecting the oil correction to be a little bit deeper than what it is currently. That is CAD yen. New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen. We actually invalidated this structure on New Zealand yen, but it has the right look still. It still has the right look. So we'll look at this one to give us this pullback here. So last week, because it had invalidated this structure here, we were actually disqualifying it, but it actually has the right look now. So we are going to look at this structure as an expanding flat like this. Okay, so that is what we're looking at, and now we'll be looking for any entries for upside. New Zealand Audi has got a clear running flat structure. As you can see here, we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. If you look at the webinars from a couple of weeks back, when we were here, we're expecting this to reverse and give us this 3-wave corrective structure. So just go to a video to around these dates here, around 11th, 10th of March, you'll see that we're focusing exactly this structure, and it has now played out. We're looking for this one to continue to the upside. So bullish yen pairs for the next coming sessions. Gold. So gold has been a little bit tricky in the last couple of days. Not necessarily tricky, it's just been going sideways. We've made this 3-wave corrective structure, so we expected to get a pullback. So we're getting a pullback here. We expected to get a continuation pattern to the downside for one last move to the downside on gold before we reverse, but we did not get that move to the downside. Instead, we have gone sideways with this corrective structure. Is gold going to give us one more up here before we drop, or is this the start of the move to the upside? So at this stage, we cannot determine what structure this is going to make. We need to get more data here. We need to get more confirmation of this structure if it's going to give us this. Okay, so that is gold. So we're going to be waiting for more data on gold. Silver, however, is a little bit more clearer. And this was one of our trade setups. Okay, it's one of our trade setups, silver, where we were looking to buy it from around these levels. It has gone and hit our stop. I'll show you the trade setups just now, trade setups that we have for the week from the last week. So silver, we were looking to buy it from here, actually from here, went and hit our stop here and then make a move to the upside. What are we expecting on silver? We may be getting this structure on silver, a bit of a pullback here to around these levels. Okay, before we continue to the upside, because the bigger structure on silver that we've been looking at is this one here. We've been looking for silver to come down around these levels. So if silver is still pushing up to the pushing to the downside, that means gold also may still push to the downside. We're looking for this flat here on silver. So we may just see here, make silver come up to this level and then come down here and make this flat here. So that's what we're looking at on silver. Okay, so I didn't show you the trade setups. Let's do oil first. Let's look at the trade setups, because the next one, which is platinum, is also part of our trade setups. So platinum, we have a trade setup here. We're looking for platinum to push to the upside here. Our members already saw this before the move took off. Let's have a look here. So this is only available for members. Unfortunately, you don't have access to trade setups unless you have got a subscription plan with us. Then you'll be able to see this. So let's have a look here. Trade setups. The first one that I was showing you was silver. We're looking for silver to push up for higher from here. Has not taken off. It has actually went and hit our stop here around these levels. So we'll be looking for another entry to at least reverse to around these levels before we push to the downside. So that is silver. That has not taken off. The next one, another trade setup that we've got, has already started playing out, is platinum. So platinum, as you've seen, has already started pushing up higher from here. So you'll see that we've got an entry here, and then we've got our stop here. So platinum has already started a move to the upside. How's that going to play? We'll be watching that. So this is platinum. As you can see here on the 4-hour, it has already started pushing to the upside. That is platinum. Let's see here. So we've already started with a move here, as you've seen here. That is what we have on platinum. And the next trade setup that we have here is obviously US dollar yen, which you've already seen. So this is US dollar yen, which we took here at 108.84. We've already moved 100 pips here on US dollar yen to around 109.80. Currently, we are around 109.67.70. We still expect this to push to the upside, as you can see with the forecast. So that's how we focused. That's how we've got our trade setups there. Right, let's go back to the charts. So this is platinum. We're expecting this to push to the upside here and give us this structure here. Let's switch off here so you can see only the structures. I'm only showing you the structures here. So you can see the structures. Let's switch off here. There we go. So we'll be looking for platinum to give us this structure here. That's the move up. That's the correction here, expanding flat. We're looking for platinum to go around these levels. Okay. That is platinum. Brent crude currently correcting. Is Brent crude ready for the next move to the upside? We don't think so. This is a move to the downside. This you could look at as 5 waves to the downside. Are we going to get a 3-wave pullback on Brent crude that could push up to around these levels, and we get another 5 waves to the downside before we push to the upside? So that's why we were looking for CAD yen to give us a double correction here as well. So this will be an ABC corrective structure, not a double correction. So this will be an ABC corrective structure on oil if it does give us one more down, and then we'll look for more upside. Okay, so that's how we'll be looking at oil. So if it does not give us that one more down, we'll have to relook at the structure. Possibilities are that this is actually a 3-wave structure, and we are starting to make a continuation move to the upside here on oil. So either way, when we get a confirmation for a trade setup, we'll be looking to take it to the upside. Right, so let's look at the pound pairs. This is pound chief. Now, pound chief, we'll be looking at this one to break out of this corrective structure and give us a push to the upside. So what we're looking at here, This looks like a three-wave structure to the downside here. That's 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. We'll be looking for this one to give us a possible, another possible three waves to the downside. When we were here last week, we said we wanted to continue to the downside. We wanted it to continue to the downside because that correction was too small. Even now, we're still expecting this one to give us one more down. That will be a decent corrective structure, and we will look to take it further up higher. Just like pound US dollar, this is still very bullish to the upside. We've got a very strong pound and a very weak yen here on pound chief, so we'll be looking for more upside. Pound CAD, last week I said pound CAD, we'll be expecting it to be our trade of the week. It did not play out as we wanted it to, so that's why we didn't even put it as on our website as our trade of the week. So that's why you see the trade of the week is Bitcoin, or chart of the week rather, is Bitcoin, US dollar, as well as natural gas. Right, so we were looking for this one. CAD yen looked too obvious. Last week we were here, we expected it to push to the downside. It only pushed up around these levels and pulled back. Now this structure on CAD yen, and looking at a higher degree, doesn't look like CAD yen is reversing. We may be just getting a nice corrective structure here for a continuation to the downside. Let's keep an eye on this. I'll still expect CAD yen, pound CAD rather, to continue to the downside. Right, so that's what we have there on pound CAD. What about pound AUD? Pound AUD and pound New Zealand are looking pretty tricky at this stage. So this is how we've been looking at this structure for the last couple of days or couple of weeks. We've been looking for this one to make a push to the upside like this and then continue to the downside. So far the structure has been playing out as expected. As you can see here, we've got the three waves here, 1, 2, 3. We've got the three-wave pullback here. We've got what looks like another 3 waves pullback. Can it now push down here with this corrective structure WXY here, and we start pushing to the downside as follows? Okay, what we're gonna wait for here is a confirmation for this. We've got a bit of a push to the downside here. Is this gonna go to the downside as follows? Unfortunately, there are more than one alternatives here, so this sequence to the upside may be incomplete as follows. Watch this structure here. Next structure that I'm going to give you is also a possibility. Look at the red lower degree here. If you understand anything about Elliott wave theory, you will see that we have a possibility to have this as a Y. So our Y could play out as follows. Okay, so let's just put this one with the lower degree here. So I want you to see the lower degree here. So we could have what we call a complex B correction here before we push to the upside. That will still be a three-wave structure here. That will still be a red Y here to the upside, and that is what we would expect here before any push to the downside. So let's keep an eye here. There is a possibility here. Let's look at it closely on the 4-hour. It looks like we are getting a reversal. But guys, I do not, just because there's a candle down does not mean a chart is going down. Okay? This does not mean anything, because simply this can still push to the upside. Okay, so you need to wait. You need to have a clear confirmation that that is what you're getting, and that is the direction that this is going to take. At the moment, we will be waiting for one of those alternatives to confirm. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, also a clear three-wave structure. A clear three-wave structure here on Pound New Zealand. We've got this running flat in the middle. We've got these 3 waves here. We've got these 3 waves here. We've got these 3 waves here. Are these 3 waves complete? Looks like we still have a bit of a push to the upside, but this could be where we start getting our reversal on Pound New Zealand. Let's keep an eye on this. This is a very clear structure, WXY corrective structure, and we'll look for downside here. Let's keep an eye on it. At the moment, it is not confirmed. The downside is not confirmed as yet, so we'll watch this one for a move to for more data here, for confirmation here, if we're going to have one more up here first before we come down. That is pound in New Zealand. Let's go to the euros, euro pound. Looking at euro pound, let's have a look at euro pound. Euro pound, we were looking for these to make a bounce around this level. We're looking for this one to give us a bounce around here before coming down. We did not, that bounce did not go anywhere. We've got one, we've got this one as 3 waves here. We're coming down here with this. That can still happen. That bounce can still happen with this structure. So just keep an eye on this. There's no trade, so that's just focus. Just watch this for a trade. If we're gonna get a trade, we're gonna get this one to bounce to this level, and then we're gonna get continuation to the downside. That is a euro pound, euro AUD. Okay, so EURAUD possibilities are this can still push to the upside here and then drop here and give us this structure. So if you remember, we'll be looking for this structure to play out from around here and then push to the upside and then come to the downside here. Okay, so you can see all these lines that I'm drawing. I'm not just drawing lines. There is a clear structure and sequence as you've seen with the charts here on the side. So there's a clear cycle and sequences of these charts on 4 time frames. That is a weekly, daily, 4 hour, and the 1 hour. Where am I now? I'm on EURAUD. Just want to show you EURAUD so you can see how we're focusing. Unfortunately, these are the latest charts. The charts are already updated, so you cannot see what the forecast was before, where we forecasted that this was going to push to the upside when we were still here. When we were here, we were expecting this to bounce here and then make him push to the upside here and then continue to the downside. That is EURAUD, and that is on the 4 hour. Right, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand's a bit trickier. We've got 3 waves here. We've got clear 3 waves. Clear 3 waves. If you've been watching our videos, you will remember that we were looking for this to actually go from here. We were looking for this to go from here. But as you can see, the market does not go in a straight line. We've got this one making a nice corrective structure here, expanding flat for a move to the upside. We have now made a 3-wave move to the upside. Do we now get a move to the downside? Okay, that needs to be confirmed around these levels. So let's watch that. EURCAD. EURCAD, again now we have seen this one continue to the downside. Is EURCAD ready for a push to the upside now? Is this done? So we're still looking for this to push a little bit further down. Let's have a look at the RSI, just the RSI. This is not the indicator that we use, by the way. Just for those, when you see me using the RSI, you think that that's the indicator. That is not how we use the indicator. So this is what we're looking at here for EURCAD to continue to the downside. But even if this is giving us divergence, we're only expecting a pullback in 3 waves, and then this will still continue to the downside. So divergence is just showing us that there's going to be a reaction as to which structure is going to come, whether there's going to be an impulse or a correction. The divergence will not tell you that. It won't even tell you where this is going to reverse. It just tells you that a reaction is imminent. That is what we've got on EURCAD. Still continuation to the downside. Be very careful here. Be very careful. That is EURCAD, EURCHF. Okay, let's look at EURCHF. Don't forget to check out the charts of the week for the next coming week on the website. They will be uploaded possibly by the end of today. So we were looking at these 3 waves to the downside, 3 waves up. We're looking for EURCHF to give us another 3 waves to the downside before any push to the upside. This will be a nice double corrective structure here. So let's watch for this here on EURCHF, a push to the downside for the next coming week. Right, so that is EURCHF, AUD, New Zealand, still pushing up higher. Look for a continuation to the upside here. This corrective structure is still playing out. We could have this one coming down here. If it comes down, that's a nice opportunity to ride it to the upside. AUDCAD. Okay, AUDCAD, we have made a push to the downside. We're expecting a pullback here in 3 waves. Push in 3 waves here. So let's just have a look here. Let's get the 3 waves here. 1, 2, 3. A pullback here. Right, so that is AUDCAD. Check out last week's video to see the bigger structure on this. AUDCHF, I've shown the bigger structures last week. AUDCHF, structure is simple. 1, 2, 3 here. You can see we've got a regular flat there. We've got this making this structure here. 1, got a regular flat and then upside. Are we going to take the top here and make a move to the downside as follows with A, B, C corrective structure before we make a move to the upside? Let's watch this. Let's watch this. That's a possible structure. Currently, we're making a push to the upside. Okay, that is AUDCHF. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD. Continuation to the downside. This is a pullback. We're still going to see this one push to the downside. Also, look at last week's video to see the bigger structure on New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CHF has made a nice zigzag here. 1, 2, and 3. Now look for this to push to the upside. Look for this to push to the upside. Looks like New Zealand strength is returning, and looks, then the indicators seem to be confirming that we're going to get a continuation to the upside here. This is New Zealand chief. You have seen New Zealand yen. Let's have a look at New Zealand yen just so you can see New Zealand yen. As you can see there, that is what we're looking at there. Look at New Zealand US dollar as well. Looks like the strength is returning. New Zealand yen and New Zealand US dollar is not as clear as New Zealand chief. Right, so this is what we're looking at. Three-wave pullback, are we now starting to resume to the upside? You've seen the analysis on this. We may still get one more down before we push to the upside. That is New Zealand. And that concludes all the Forex pairs, or rather the crosses. Let's look at, I think we still have CAD yen, CAD chief rather. CAD chief, just like CAD yen, we want this to give us a deeper corrective structure. We can see that we have here a three-wave pullback. This is a three-wave pullback, which we like, but we've gone up in three waves again. We would like this one to come down here. Whether it gives us an expanding flat or a regular flat doesn't matter, but this will be a decent corrective structure for another entry to the upside. This is still very bullish, by the way. We're just pulling back. Otherwise, if this can just continue pushing up from here, it is not safe because you will get a deeper correction before it goes anywhere. That is CAD yen. Right, let's go to the indices. Looking at the indices, the S&P 500. What have we been saying? It's just one thing. I mean, I think you guys are tired of this here, and I've shown the structure that we're looking at on this on the S&P 500, on the indices rather. So we, since around December, we have been looking for this to be going for a wave 5 here. And every time we came for the weekly analysis, you would see these corrective structures. You'd see this corrective structure, and I would just say, look for continuation to the upside. Even when this was happening, I've just been saying one thing, look for a continuation to the upside. Even the latest one, I've never really done any analysis on this except for when we forecasted that we're going to get a move here to the upside, and it has been playing out exactly as forecasted, and this is now breaking another correction for more upside here on the S&P 500. Just be mindful though of the fact that this is now starting to slow down and there is now some divergence on the RSI, so that means we may be getting some decent pullback pretty soon. But for now, we're going to be looking for this one to continue to the upside. And that is the case for all the indices. The S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial, as you can see here, the Dow has also just broken out of this three-wave pullback. This is the most recent one. And all of these, if you look at the video from before this, I'll show you which videos to look out for. If you go to our channel and check out these videos, obviously that has already played out. That will be just for learning purposes. If you look at any video before the 26th of October last year, you would see that we were focusing that this was going to give us, we actually were looking for this to push from here. That did not happen. It actually made this corrective structure, and this was a decent corrective structure from here. We actually focused that this was going to reverse from here, and this is where we are now. From October last year, we are currently here. This is the Dow Jones, and that is industrial, and this is transportation. And yes, you can see the Dow Jones Industrial and the transportation are confirming each other's highs. That is what the Dow theory says, by the way. As long as the Dow Jones, these two averages are confirming higher highs, and there's no divergence between the two averages, that means the trend is still intact. That is on the Dow as well as the S&P 500, because those are correlated. Look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has made a three-wave to the downside, three-wave pullback to the downside, has made a pulsing move, has made another three waves. We're looking for the NASDAQ to come and at least retest this level. Can possibly do a flat before it goes, or this could be the end of the correction and we actually go from here. Okay, so as you can see, the NASDAQ also has a similar structure to the S&P 500 and the Dow. So also from here, we focused that we're going to make a move to the upside. Slight difference with the Dow is that we focused that this is the push to the upside, and we are looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and looking for this one to complete the 5 there on the NASDAQ. Right, that is the NASDAQ, the UK 100. Look at this structure. So UK 100, we were looking for these to do this 1, 2, 3, and then downside. It is not dropping. Okay, so we are getting 1, 2, 3 to the upside, and this is a continuation to the upside. Okay, this can continue to the upside here around these levels. Let's have a look at what structure that will be. It will be 1, it will be 2, it will be 3. So this can still push up higher as follows, and this will be 3 waves here, 3 waves here, 3 waves there. Okay, so that means we would have a structure like this, possibly one more down and then upside. Okay, that will be the UK 100. Let's see how that plays out, but we will be seeing the UK 100 push to the upside in the immediate term. That is the UK 100, the DAX. What more can we say on the DAX? It's a continuation to the upside. Every time you get these three-way pullbacks, we're still pushing to the upside. Every time you get this, and I'm not just drawing this in hindsight to look at previous videos. Even when this was dropping, when it looked like it was dropping, we could see that this was only a three-wave pullback. We push up higher, we correct every time. So it is now breaking the latest one. We're still expecting more upside on the DAX. Nikkei is making a regular flat and is continuing to the upside. Regular flat on the Nikkei, expect continuation to the upside. Nifty, beautiful structure on the Nifty, a nice zigzag here as follows, 1, 2, 3. Now we expect continuation to the upside on the Nifty. Let's see if we're gonna get this to the upside. Right, guys, that's all for this week. I'll see you again next Sunday, same time. Drop us a like if you like, if you enjoyed the videos, and that notification button. Do subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Trade responsibly. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, check out the crypto video immediately after this.